I say quiet, please. I meant it. Now, my first pleasant duty is to introduce somebody whom none of you know, but I've had brief connection with, and that is Michael Uphill. I think you'll hear a lot more of him during the course of the evening. Thank you, Michael.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming this evening. Welcome to Putney. Why Putney, you may ask? Well, those of you who remember the Ringing World series, the book begins here at Putney, where I grew up, sang in the choir and learnt to read. A few seconds about that later on. But first, thinking about beginnings, here at Putney we have a tenuous connection, lots of tenuous connections in the book if you remember in the series. We have a tenuous connection with the beginning of change ringing. During the Civil War in the 1640s, the army was based here at Putney, keeping an eye on the king, who was holed up just up the river, up there at Hampton Court. The meetings of the Army Council were held here in St Mary's Church. Their deliberations became known as the Putney Debates, and some of their documents were used in the drafting of the first Constitution of the United States of America, not least the quotation from Colonel Rainsborough, which is reproduced on the front of the gallery just behind us in the church. For really, I think, the poorest that is in England have a life to live as has the greatest. Meanwhile, up at Hampton Court, possibly at the same time as he was ordering wild boar and venison sausages for the king's son, the clerk to the king's pantry, Robert Rowan, a member of the society, it wasn't ancient in those days, a member of the Society of College Youths, was inventing Grandson Bob Doubles, what we now know as Bob Doubles. Who can doubt that while he was there, he left an assistant in charge of the kitchen so that he could sneak off down here to Putney to the Monday practice night, Putney having had one of the earliest rings of 6, to join in the local practice. He may also have been a member of the secret society, the Sealed Knot. The Sealed Knot, many of you will know, was a society which vowed to keep the king on the throne at all costs. As you may know, also there are little groups of Sealed Knot devotees who go around the country reenacting battles from the Civil War. So for the next 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to stage our own 20th century version, not 21st century, 20th century version of a Sealed Knot reenactment. It's a sort of centre of the London County Association's own Civil War. It's not exactly beyond the fringe, but we'll borrow the title of one of the book chapters and call it Beyond the Crypt. So don't let this disturb the eating and the drinking. Carry on with that because everything's got to go. So carry on doing the eating and drinking, enjoy the next 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll sell some books.
Right, now when you put a